Welcome back to Bold of You to Say. We're back with another episode.
Christmas special!
Yeah. We bring the heat this holiday season because we all need it.
We bring the heat!
If you are in the northern hemisphere right now, you are probably snowed in just like we are. We meant to record this one in person, but the roads kind of got a little slickery.
Shit kind of hit the fan, honestly.
Dude, I pulled out of my driveway today to go to Haley's house, which is where I am right now because that's the only place I could go with good internet. And when I pulled out of the driveway, instantly my car just like fishtailed. I mean, I was going slow, so it wasn't like too violent or anything, but I pulled out and they just slid perfectly perpendicular to the road.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that's
man.
how slickery it is out there.
Slickery.
Yeah. And yeah, so first of all, Jordan Peterson tweeted some weird stuff. Maybe he should have stayed banned, honestly. Maybe. Do we need him? Do we need Jordan Peterson on Twitter?
At what point in your life do you wake up in the morning and think, you know what I need? Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. If you listen to Jordan Peterson, get help. And by that, I mean get real help.
Go to a psychologist.
Yeah. But anyway, Franz did some based stuff. Great stuff. And then we talked
Pretty cool
about
stuff.
Violent Night. David Harbour is Santa, and Santa he's had enough bullshit.
I mean, I say in the show that I would fuck him. I still stand by that.
I gotta say, you haven't heard it yet, but I stand by the words I will say from your perspective.
Exactly.
Like and subscribe, nice comments only, all that. You want to get the hell into it on this very merry, Bold of You to Say Christmas special.
Let's get the Jesus into it.
Let's put Christ back in Christmas.
Let's stick it to the pagans.
Hold on. Let's be inclusive. Okay, let's light. I think Hanukkah's still going. Let's light
Menorah.
Let's light another candle on the menorah, and
Right.
then jump into it. I don't know. I don't think Ramadan is still going, but if Ramadan is still going, let's fast until sundown. Right into it.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I could never.
I could.
Could
I
never.
couldn't
But
do
if that's your thing, good for you. Let's jump into it.
Live your life. Let's get into it.
But first, I want to do our new segment. This is the pilot of our new segment. Hey, buddy, what does this mean? What is this? What the hell are you saying to me? So this is kind of piggybacking off of all the Elon Musk stuff. Like all the fucking Twitter, whatever. But yeah, this has to do. Did you turn off your webcam, or do I have a bad connection and it's just not showing?
Did, motherfucker.
You did?
I did turn off my. I turned off my camera.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just making sure it wasn't a connection
just because it's
thing.
less data being
Yeah.
transferred between computers. So
Yeah, good idea. Oh, and the latency is a lot better now. I don't know if it's related to turning off the webcam. I don't know if it's related
because of the size of my cock.
It's
No,
it's
that's
definitely
because
the
computer
size
is like,
of
your
one
dick
of
is
our
huge.
cocks. But anyway,
Right inside of your mother, my cock being.
Wait, no, it's you got it flipped. It's my cock and your mother. Anyway, so
Listen,
Anyway,
Alex. I may be
anyway,
dyslexic, but I'm well aware of the size of my libido, and it's definitely my cock inside of your mother.
So the main idea of this tweet, of this segment, really is to highlight how there's this idea that's been going around that like Elon Musk has been changing things, like when it is convenient for them, for like his people, they say he's changing stuff, but when it's not, it's anyway. So basically, what I'm specifically talking about, if you want to get something done, now what I'm specifically talking about with this is, I guess, people are now saying that child pornography was a problem on Twitter. Anyway, I don't want to put the cart before the horse because I want this tweet to be as jarring as it was for me reading it the first time. So this is Jordan Peterson responding to a tweet by Robert Reich. He said, Elon Musk and his enablers have turned this website into a torrent of ad hominem attacks, lies floated as jokes, and blatant misinformation. This isn't freedom of speech, it's just dangerous. Which, yeah, that's pretty non-controversial. It's pretty much just hit the nail on the head there. So Jordan Peterson's response to that, keep in mind, he did not have to say anything. He definitely didn't have to say this in response. He said,
right.
And it's getting just impossible to find child porn, ... smiley face.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Jordan Peterson?
See, that's what I mean by the title of this segment. Hey, buddy, what the hell are you saying? What is this? And like the way that I was exposed to this tweet from him is like someone that I follow quote tweeted it like, "Hey buddy, have you considered switching to adult pornography?" Like,
yeah. Hey, there's a whole website for that.
Yeah.
Multiple websites.
Yeah,
just
so
for that.
Anyway, what I was saying before was the context for this. So I guess from what I have gathered, it would seem that the narrative now is that child porn was somehow an issue on Twitter, and keep in mind, this also is supposed to fit in with their narrative that Twitter was like, censorious beyond belief. Like somehow they were incredibly censorious, but also they let child pornography be a problem on the platform.
Right.
Yeah. So like on that level, it's just weird that they're making up an issue that, as far as I know, didn't exist. I had never seen child porn on Twitter before. Haven't now. Like they're just making up.
I just almost wish that Jordan Peterson had just forgotten to put that little smiley face at the end of it, so we could all be like, "Are you complaining?"
Yeah. That's the other weird part.
Is this
like beyond like beyond the intellectual like issues with it? Like like I know that it's not an issue on the platform. It just isn't there. Yeah, like it's weirdly worded and out of context and kind of in context. It sounds like he's complaining.
I've just stopped giving my mental energy to Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson. They say nothing to that speaks to me on a personal level that has any application to me in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just, Jordan Peterson says something about masculinity, and I'm like, I'm going to keep studying for the school that I go to, and I'll try to pass my exams. Like, I don't...
Yeah, I think I'm just a masochist.
Is that it?
I don't know. Okay. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm bored, I'll just scroll on Twitter, and that's how I came across this. And I know that Twitter is bad for me, but I just keep doing it. And it's not even that I'm addicted or anything. Like, it's only when I'm bored at work and I'm just like starved for something to maintain my attention. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, like,
I'm like a fucking inch away from just deleting my Instagram, because it's a derelict account at this point in time. And I'm like, I could do that, or I could keep on wasting Instagram's money on keeping my account up.
Or bold of you to say, nation, we can see how many followers we can get him before he deletes it.
That sounds so
You
dumb,
have until Christmas morning to get him as many followers.
I don't want that attention. I sincerely do not want that attention on me.
Yo, guys, can we get Gavin up to 5 followers?
Yeah. Oh, I already have more than that. Hashtag humble brag.
Yo, no, you're not trying to flex or anything, but I have 8 followers. So anyway, this tweet from Jordan Peterson is like weird on the level of like, what are you complaining? And it's also just like incorrect on the level of there just was never child porn on Twitter. And if anyone ever tried to post it, it would get cracked down upon, which like you also complain about.
I mean, I don't know the depth of like Twitter stuff, so I can't confirm or deny that there was or was not any child porn on Twitter.
All I can say is I've never seen it, and I've never heard of it being on the platform.
I mean, I've heard of child porn being on like most platforms at one point in time to varying degrees.
Yeah, I mean, like, people will try to post anything. What degree, but Twitter is like pretty good about content moderation, or they have been historically.
Yeah, but like I don't know to what degree child porn was an issue on Twitter
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert, but
like,
as far as I can tell, they're just making up a problem and then like blaming it on
I don't
the
know.
left in a vague sense.
All I know is I don't like child porn. I think it's dumb and stupid, and people shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't care about Elon Musk or Jordan Peterson because I also think they're dumb and stupid, and no one should care what they say.
Yeah. Well, also on another level, like if there are platforms where like child pornography is a problem, which like there are, those are the right wing like free speech platforms. Like
wow,
the only
it's almost
times
like it's really funny because like the people who use like gay porn the most are countries that avidly dog against homosexuality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just
so
projection.
I think it's so funny when we're like, oh, child porn, big problem. I don't like child porn. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, keep your head on your shoulders. Let's solve this problem.
Well, yeah,
in a very collected, calm manner.
Yeah, it's like those guys that like make hating pedophiles like a part of their personality. You know, like one of their main personality traits is like saying that they want to kill pedophiles, and then you find out that they're into some weird, creepy, sometimes illegal shit. But anyway, the point that I was making is that like the platforms that do have a child pornography problem are the right wing, quote unquote, free speech platforms, like like Parler and I think Gab. Like those platforms that pride themselves on their lack of content moderation. Like it's like putting two and two together. It's like, yeah, this thing happens, therefore this other thing. A lack of content moderation means that you're going to have problems with content that isn't moderated. So like, yeah, illegal shit is going to be on the fucking platform. So it's weird that they're picking Twitter to be their boogeyman in this department. But also, this is a related tweet. It's not like in reply to it or anything, but this is just something that I came across. This is from Michael Keller on Twitter. He said, last month, Elon Musk tweeted that removing child exploitation was quote unquote priority number one at Twitter, despite reports that many of the key employees responsible for policing this content are no longer at the company after layoffs and resignations.
Right.
Yeah. So like, that's just another level on which this is just, I don't even know what to call it. Like that much, just a nothing
He doesn't
burger.
even need that much He doesn't even need that much specificity. All he has to say is, yeah, Elon Musk tweeted that removing child exploitation was priority number one. Yeah, you and what people?
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, like you and what people? You fired everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You fucking fired
exactly.
everyone.
Yeah.
You're on a burning ship and now you're trying to get the rats off? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The ship's on fire, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, it's not only it's not only like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Like that's the metaphor that I think should be used more often. It's rearranging the deck chairs, also calling the people that were rearranging the deck chairs woke, organizing them worse, and also firing the captain of the ship.
It'll be so fun to watch all this like
and really saying that the iceberg has a right to be there. Hey, what happened to free speech? What happened to freedom of being an iceberg?
Right. It's just going to be super odd watching all of this logical fallacy arguments like going full circle.
Right.
It's going to be so fun watching it be like, yeah, so it turns out we can't have people saying some hateful stuff on the platform, so if you say this, we're going to ban you.
Right. Well, yeah. No, I fully I fully believe that a platform like Twitter should have some level of content moderation, and like Elon Musk has been saying this, and people like him have been saying like, well, if stuff is if speech is legal, it should be allowed on Twitter. But I disagree. I kind of. For lack of to make a long story short, I guess I'll just say I disagree with that. But one, it is a private company. You've heard it before. They're allowed to do what they want. But also, like, it's technically legal to like be mean to people, but like it shouldn't be allowed in a space, and it isn't allowed.
Right.
Like, it is, to the letter
Right.
of the law, it is legal to like insult someone's mother, right? Like, you know, if you're just talking
Well, I
to
mean,
someone.
here's the thing.
But if
The
you are
difference
like,
between, like-
if you're like shouting stuff in a public area, which is, if you want to make that analogy, that's what social media is. Like, you're going to get in trouble for disturbing the peace if you're like doing harassment, if you're just being a general shit.
Well, and I think that really draws the line between general harassment and I guess hate speech and general harassment, right? So like hate speech is like for groups of people, right? You say, I don't like the gays. The gays are anyone who likes someone of the same sex, right? In a sexual way. And then like harassment is like, this particular person I'm going to harass.
Yeah.
Now, Twitter and Facebook both have harassment policies, right? They don't have really, like, they have very loose hate speech policies. And it's weird because you can use certain dog whistle terms to direct a general hate speech message at a person.
Well, like,
and that's what's hard to like moderate. Like, how do you moderate that?
Yeah,
well, because you need a smoking gun, right?
Yeah.
You need someone who did something to someone, and you have a lot of someones who did a lot of disjointed things to one person.
Yeah,
and it's difficult. It's really difficult to determine where the line is drawn between what you can say and can't say, and relative to the power you have over people.
Yeah, I don't like the. Like they like to make this metaphor that like, oh, it's like the town square, and you know you're allowed to have the, you know, you have First Amendment rights when you're, you know, out like in the world, and they try to like compare posting on social media to just like holding thoughts, I guess, and like just, you know, saying stuff when you're out, but like it doesn't really, they don't really go beyond the surface level of it and really do like complex analysis of it. They're just like, hey, if I can say I don't like gay people in the Chili's, I should be allowed to post it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But I mean, if you want to make a real world analogy about it, like I would say it's more similar to loudly announcing something or like writing something on like a wall or a message board. And there are rules about what you can like write on walls and message boards.
Right.
So like, I don't have a concrete written out policy on what I think like the code of conduct or like terms of service should be. I just, on a principle level, like generally there should be content moderation. And I like, it is controversial to say that, but I don't think it should be. I just don't.
There should be.
No, I just don't think that like free speech absolutism is like an important value that should be upheld no matter what.
And like I see your point. I don't know. It just, there are, and having taken communication classes
to clarify, like you should be allowed to like
classes.
You should be allowed to like criticize people. Like I'm not saying like you should be hit with a libel suit for like insulting a politician or a public figure or anything like that. I just agree with the general idea that if you're a public shit, like, you know, like we shouldn't be forced to like deal with you and let you turn a platform toxic and vitriolic and hateful.
Yeah. I see your point. And now this is really where the rubber hits the road, honestly. It's just like, what's the action item here, right? How are we going to handle it?
Yeah, but anyway, not to get like too into the weeds on it. Just Jordan Peterson, what the hell do you mean? Child pornography, like they're like,
and how do you know? What's your metric?
Right. Like, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, have you been looking? Were you successfully finding it before, but now no matter how much you look, you can't find it? Like that's the other thing that makes it creepy.
Having child porn on your computer is a crime, regardless.
Right. Yeah.
So even if you're like, I was doing a scientific study, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. It's not.
Yeah, to tie it back to like the main thing here, they're talking out of both sides of their mouths, like they being like generally like the right, like people aligned with Elon Musk in like his free speech crusade / wanting to ruin Twitter, like people that are aligned with him are saying two simultaneous like opposite things. One, Twitter was too censorious, they were censoring too much, and they should moderate less. But also they're saying that there was supposedly child pornography on the platform and that should be cracked down or they're implying that it should be cracked down upon. I guess he's not really saying either way. He's not putting a value judgment on it, but we're supposed to, I guess it's implied that he wants it to be cracked down on, and he thinks Elon Musk is doing that. So, like, which is it?
Right.
Is content moderation good or bad? Because they're going against the principle of content moderation. They disagree. They say they disagree with the idea that content should be moderated. So, anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about what Jordan Peterson actually says because, again, I don't listen to him.
Yeah, no,
and when I do, it's like...
You can go ahead.
So, I mean, okay. And when I do, it's only, like, on... It's only on matters where I'm like, okay, I think he could have something to say in this field, given his credentials. Mm-hmm. And then when I try to keep myself aware of dog whistles and keep myself aware of when he diverts to topics where he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so, he's the kind of guy where the more you hear what he says, the less like sane and agreeable he seems. Like, I guess
there's just a lot of extrapolations that he makes. Yeah. There's just so many different extrapolations that he makes based on psychology.
Well, yeah,
assuming that he knows everyone.
Yeah, well, right? Also based on just bad science.
Right.
Like he had some stuff about lobsters that he was saying a few years ago. Like this was like early in his public career, but he was saying like lobsters, I know it had something to do with hierarchies, but he was saying that like lobsters do they do traditional masculinity or something. I don't know, but whatever they do,
it was something like lobsters.
They fight.
Lobsters fuck your mom.
No, they
fuck your mom. Therefore, I am a lobster.
No, he was saying that like they fight, and
he was saying. One of the hosts of Bold of You to say is a lobster because he's fucking the other host's mom.
And he said that about me. Anyway, so I think what it was is he said that when lobsters fight, they release like serotonin or something. Not exactly serotonin, but it's something along those lines, like a hormone that makes us feel good. And they fight and they release that chemical.
Oh, and it's like a different kind of serotonin too. It's not even the same kind of serotonin.
Right. Well,
by the way,
he was.
BTW.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. He was saying that they fight and then they release that, and that's proof that like you should be competitive. And he tied it into hierarchies. And then I watched like a more in-depth video about it, like, kind of picking it apart. And apparently, like the study that he based that on, like mentioned in the study, like actually, when lobsters have this chemical, whether it's serotonin or something else, it actually like makes them angry. It doesn't make them feel good. So like the whole basis that he had based this on was just like incorrect
bullshit?
facts, incorrect science. Yeah, bullshit. So he's also like beyond like that genre of being wrong. He's also said like weird things about the Holocaust, but I can't say any details on it because it's been a while since I've heard of it. But he said some like weird like genocide denying stuff. I think Knowing Better did a video about like his rhetoric and how it's like based on like Holocaust denier rhetoric.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, he's the kind of guy that if you hear more from him, like you kind of get a worse impression of him.
I don't think he's a good person.
All things considered, I don't think he's a great guy. And that was our new segment.
As good people go,
hey, buddy,
I would say Jordan Peterson is not on the list.
Yeah, no, say what you will, not a good guy. Say what you will, lobsters should not be the model on which we base our behavior. And that is bold of me to say.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, for News Minute, I was going to talk about some CIA documents that were declassified. I haven't had much. Well, I've had time, but I just haven't gone into all the research on it, so I can't really give an in-depth recounting of it. But basically, there were some documents that there was a law that was written in like 1992 that said that these documents relating to Lee Harvey Oswald and the JFK assassination need to be declassified by 2017. And then 2017 rolled around, and they didn't declassify all of the stuff they were supposed to declassify, and some new documents were just declassified. I think there's still a lot that is still locked up, but yeah, apparently there were the CIA knew that Lee Harvey Oswald was going to assassinate the president, and they'd been keeping tabs on him, and they had said previously that they had no idea it was coming. They had no association with him. But apparently they kind of knew it was coming, and they might have even supported him. But anyway, that's all to say. Look into it. I will recommend Deconstructed. It's a podcast by The Intercept, and Ryan Grimm did a story on this. I think it's their most recent episode, but it's something CIA and JFK. You'll know the title when you see it. But yeah, the point that I wanted to make with that is
CIA and JFK.
Something dark side. Yeah. No, you'll know the title when you see it. But anyway, the point that I wanted to make with that is just basically shit. Damn.
Damn.
No, but seriously.
I see why they wanted it to be released 47 some odd years.
Oh yeah. Dude, it was supposed to be originally it was supposed to be declassified in 2039 or something.
That's great.
Yeah. No, the CIA, much like Jordan Peterson, is the kind of organization, any 3-letter organization in this country is the kind of organization that the more you look into it, the more you see just atrocities that they admit they did, and atrocities that they haven't admitted to yet. Shit. But yeah, imagine what else they have locked up. I don't know.
I don't even want to think about it.
No, I don't like conspiracy theorists. I don't like Alex Jones types that think that there are lizards behind everything and the Jews run the world. That stuff is toxic, and it will drive you crazy. And it's just
how does it help you now? How does that help you at all right now?
Right.
Tell me. Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's so divorced from reality that you can't go to some fucking gas station and say, my gas should be free because of the Jewish lizard people.
Yeah. And
what?
Yeah. All the vague conspiracy theories, lizards run the world. This person's actually a robot or something. It always just ties back to anti-Semitism. It always just ties back to the Jews. It's lazy writing, honestly. But the one thing that I probably hate them for the most, those hardcore conspiracy theorist types, is that they just take the wind out of the sails of legitimate, for lack of a better word, conspiracy theories. The idea that 3-letter organizations have, some involvement in the assassination of people that they don't like, Well,
what if it's 4-letter organizations?
Well, that's a whole different story.
Right.
Or you can trust the 4-letter ones. But the idea that
this just reminds me,
the idea that the FBI hated MLK, they hated Martin Luther King, they literally told him to kill himself, and they have a long history of hating him and other leftist figures and organizations and groups. They have a history of hating this guy, and then he gets assassinated. I mean, not to say you have to assume that they had something to do with it or they orchestrated it, but it's not unreasonable to think that they had some involvement or just to at least suspect it, And I just feel the well has been poisoned by the people that think it's all the Jews.
Right. And it just, and I hate to push it's just in Star Trek, but there's a Star Trek episode that has something with regards to like making arguments like this, and Jean-Luc Picard says there's a very fine line between reasonable suspicion and paranoia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just believe that, and so now whenever I hear anything that's super like huge impact statements, right? I take them with a grain of salt until I'm given like an actual physical paper trail.
Yeah, and that's a healthy way
like,
of looking at it. That is a healthy mindset.
Right. I mean, listen, hearsay is not evidence. Hearsay and affidavits are not legal evidence.
Yeah.
Okay? That doesn't count. So whenever something goes from like, oh, lizard people, yeah, because NASA did this, and this one guy said to this other guy, hey, how about this rainbow on a Thursday afternoon? I don't know, like that's, as far as I can tell, is a nothing burger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't like the conflation that's been made between like, you know, the Jews run the world and they're all lizards.
Made no sense, but like, yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, you should not like be paranoid about the world around you, but like it's reasonable to think that these intelligence organizations whose whole thing is like doing covert operations, like the idea that they would do covert operations against people they don't like, yeah, that's what they do. You know, should you assume that they are behind everything? No, you shouldn't assume that. But like on the other side, I think people, as a reaction to the Alex Jones types, like I think some people like kind of, I hate to use centrist language, but they've like swung it in the opposite direction where they think that like they've done nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you bring up like, hey, maybe the CIA had something to do with, you know, Lee Harvey Oswald, you know, killing Kennedy. Like before these documents were released and it was like kind of shown like, yeah, some people would just be like, nah, you're crazy. And they would lump you in with the people that think that the lizard Jews control the world.
Also, what part of being a lizard would make you like Semitism?
Right. Yeah. No, it's
I don't know what the hell, bro.
It's just lazy writing.
Bad, but like it's just lazy writing. Exactly.
Yeah, they're alien. Like, they're alien. They're alien lizards, but they also believe in Judaism.
Not Aryan lizards, apparently. Not Aryan lizards, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
They're just normal lizard aliens that came down and were like, yeah, I think Jesus was a nice guy, but not the Son of God.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're conflated with all these conspiracies. What the fuck, dude?
Where are the Buddhist aliens?
I don't know how that makes any sense.
I mean, if there was
what the hell, man?
If there was any religion that would translate to another planet, wouldn't it be something like Buddhism? Because like Judaism and by extension Christianity and Islam are very much tied to this planet. So if you were gonna be an alien with a religion, it would either be from another planet or it would be something more universal, like Buddhism, where it's just like, hey, be good to people and you'll live another life.
You are cracking up. You're currently very choppy.
Okay.
At the moment.
All right. Well, let me check my. Okay, my connection is good now. Can you hear me?
I didn't hear all of that, but I will say, sure, yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, you can listen back to the recording.
It's just, I think it's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's
being interrupted.
Yeah. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, my point was like, yeah, it's just weird that these alien lizard people would be... Can you hear me? I'm having a latency spike.
I can hear you a little bit, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think it's getting better. Yeah. Sorry, listeners. You will have to bear with us for the duration of this episode as we do have a very poor connection. But
there's a literal nationwide snowstorm hitting like most states.
Yeah,
so,
you are listening to this hopefully.
You know, Alex, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, hopefully the night that this airs. Hopefully I will be able to get this out tonight on the 23rd, because this is supposed to be a Christmas special. So anyway, yeah, that's all to say. Listen to Deconstructed from The Intercept. It was like a 30-minute podcast episode, pretty digestible. I saw that it was linked in Ken Klippenstein's newsletter, which he's also a good reporter. I think he was one of the people that was banned by Elon Musk in his great liberal journalist purge. Okay, I do not know if Gavin is saying anything because I'm having a latency spike.
You just cut out. You just cut out.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Hey, Alex, do you want to try doing the rest of this tomorrow? Because I think tomorrow the weather should be a little bit better.
Yeah, we can try. Can you hear me now?
You're still choppy.
Okay. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so would you be able to meet up if the roads are good?
Yes. Are you coming to my place or am I going to your place?
I mean either one.
Okay. I don't mind coming to your place because my family is kind of, I wouldn't say canceling Christmas, but we're holding it off till my sister can get home. So it shouldn't be a big problem for me to get over to your place if you send me the address.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, you'll be able to see my house, meet my mom in person. I know you've talked to her on the phone.
Yeah.
And this will be the first time
she's a very
that
nice
you have
lady.
ever seen her, Gavin. This will be the first time.
What are you talking about?
I don't want you to make any comments.
I mean, you're so choppy right now. I can't.
I don't want you to make any comments about
Hello?
how you've seen her in person
Hello?
before and done anything impolite
I can't.
to her.
I'm having. Hello,
Can you hear me?
Alex. Can you hear me?
I just
Can you hear
nutted in your mom. I just nutted in your mom.
Hello. What? I can't. You're really choppy right now.
I nutted in your
You're
mom.
really so choppy right now.
Can you hear me?
Anyway,
Can you hear me?
you're so choppy right now. You're so incredibly choppy right now. Me and your mom are making plans to go fuck each other hard later.
Yeah, no, you just cut out a lot. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, is your car good in the snow?
I love the plausible. Oh yeah, no. Her name is Bessie. My car.
Oh. Yeah, she sounds like a sturdy gal.
She is a beast. Bessie's a sturdy gal.
Kind of sounds like today's video sponsor, Bessie.
Really? Did we get a sponsor?
No. So let's get to let's quickly cover our next news story before the power goes out again.
Yeah.
No, I got over here. I got to Haley's house because the internet sucks at my house, and then I get there, and then the fucking power goes out. God,
the power for
damn.
Fucking went out.
The power, not the power for me fucking Gavin's mom, not that. But anyway, speaking of me fucking Gavin's mom, so France, according to BBC, has made condoms free for 18 to 25-year-olds. It's a little bit of an older story. It's like 3 weeks old now, but
well, in that case, your mom is just like the country of France because I've been getting all my condoms from her.
Yeah, well, your mom is like France because she smells
she would
bad.
supply them, so I could fuck her.
She smells bad.
Hey, I would never insult your mother in such a way.
No, I would. It was.
I would only insult her in the size and relative softness of her titties.
Sure, man. Sure. Yeah. Anyway,
that's the hill I'm gonna die on.
Yeah.
Tonight.
So it's
happy Christmas Eve, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to our Christmas special. So France, I guess they have like a problem with STDs. Like
what?
So like
France. The people who actively lick buttholes.
Hey, let's not disparage that. All right.
The ones who actively give rim jobs out, those who don't know the colloquial name for licking butthole. They have issues with STDs, Alex.
Let's not disparage that. All right.
No kink shaming. I'm just saying. It's like me being like, I'm really into aiming my gun at
Imagine if
feet,
your mother could hear you right now.
and then being like, wow, I keep on shooting people in the feet. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah. Wow. No shit, Sherlock. You don't need an epidemiologist to figure that shit out, man. Goddamn.
Anyway,
as you were saying.
Beyond racism against the French, which I condone.
They're not a race. They're a nationality, motherfucker.
So it says in the article, between 2020 and 2021, there was a 30% rise in STI rates nationally.
Which ones? I want to know the stats.
It doesn't say specifically. It's just STIs generally.
I love that.
But yeah, that's good. I am in favor of any public health measure that would lead to less French people.
My jokes are better.
Hey, look, man. Hey, Jack. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Poor guy. Whoa, I went full on dyslexic there. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop.
But yeah, no, I like that. I like that France is doing this. Meanwhile, in America, swinging it back around to the country that matters. Yes. Meanwhile, Republicans are trying to ban condoms for everyone. What a fake country we live in. What a horrible place that this is.
And they wonder why they didn't do well in the midterms. Here's the fact, man. Everyone likes fucking and no one likes babies.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest about that. And what I mean by no one likes babies, there are some people who are like, ooh, cute baby. Mm-hmm. No one likes a baby at 2 a.m. when they're crying and have to
no
be
one
fed.
likes the reality of a baby.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, no shit. Again, no shit. You're doing badly in the fucking midterms in polling. Because fucking Bo John wants to fuck his girlfriend, right?
Right.
And he's a farmer and he's just working all day and he just needs to get off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Well, the Republicans are so their ideas on economic issues are so unpopular because it's just let's give money to the rich. So they have to do culture war bullshit. But even the culture war bullshit, they lose on it, except for their select number of people in their base. And abortion rights are popular in this country.
And it's kind of funny too, because the bases that they're actively whipping to get votes are actively suffering under these legislative policies.
Yeah.
So all it really takes is Democrats being like, hey, we don't believe what they believe. If you need evidence to show that, look at these states that have implemented their policies.
Yeah.
They're shit.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
Shit.
Yeah, in most cases, it is that simple to run against Republicans, but somehow Democrats find ways to lose. Which, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to run against the people that want to ban blowjobs and condoms.
They want to ban blowjobs?
Yeah, they
how?
In more
fucking how?
The more conservative ones will run on enforcing sodomy laws. Michigan had a sodomy law on the books.
Yeah, but we also had a fucking abortion law on the books forever. Just no one enforced it.
Yeah. Yeah, but some Republicans in more conservative areas, some of the more demented ones are running on hey, yeah, if I get elected, I will enforce our sodomy laws.
And it's also
I want to say
how.
I want to say, don't quote me on it, but I want to say Greg Abbott said
that does not surprise me.
If he, it could be a different one, but the important thing is a Republican governor was hey, yeah, if there was a sodomy law in the books that you passed, I would enforce that. Yeah, they hate you and they're crazy, and their entire ideology is imploding.
I want to mention it's not just male on male buttholes or female. I don't know how females would figure it out, but I bet they would. Female on female butthole.
Well, any oral sex is sodomy.
Any oral? Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why I say they want to ban blowjobs and condoms. And that's you have. That could be a campaign slogan. Hey, the other guy wants to ban blowjobs and condoms.
Listen, I'm
but
not going to kink shame.
They don't want to take off the kid gloves.
It's and all a Democrat would have to say, even if they're not into that, would be listen, I'm not going to stand up here and kink shame. I just think you should be able to do that. I don't.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you do you. I don't. How does that? It's a waste of taxpayer money to prevent you from putting your penis inside of someone else's butthole consensually.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said on the phone, last week, I think,
yeah.
The West Virginia Democrat doesn't have to be the Joe Manchin type that's yeah, no, I believe everything that Republicans believe, but I have a blue tie. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to do that to win in a more conservative area. All you have to do is just use the right messaging. Just say hey, I believe in liberty. The guy on the other podium doesn't. It's that simple.
And it's so weird because these same people are taxation is theft. But I don't like people doing sodomy. I don't like that.
Right. Well, like more.
Okay, who do you think funds that? Like would fund that sort of restriction?
Well, like anti-war messaging even like appeals to Republicans when you word it the right way. Like,
yeah,
like Tulsi Gabbard has like transitioned to basically just being a Republican now because there's more money there. I think that's the motivating factor. But like she gained like a lot of momentum on the right because I didn't keep up with her like campaigning that much, but you can word like being against war and like, hey, let's not spend our money on this, this money pit anymore. Like you can word it like that, or you could say like, hey, I believe that life is sacred, but that doesn't appeal to everyone.
You have something as utterly black and white as the current Ukrainian war.
Mm-hmm.
That's like something where like I saw this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene, which if there was one person I wish Thanos would just like, if I could guarantee Thanos, like not violently, just
just dust her out of existence
anymore.
Yeah,
right. If there was one person, maybe there's a list, but anyway, her, she was like, "I'm sorry, is Ukraine the 51st state?
Yeah.
Why are we giving them so much money?" And I'm like,
they always say like, hey, we should spend this money at home. But then when we're like, hey, could we spend this money at home? They're like, hey, who's going to pay for it?
Hey, who wants a tax break?
Yeah. Yeah. They just, one moment when it's convenient for them, they'll say, hey, the Democrats are spending all of our money on Ukraine in these wars, which like, that's a valid criticism. But like the bad part is that they then will turn around and be like, hey, we can't spend money on healthcare, even though I said last week we should spend money on healthcare instead of this war.
Listen,
they just don't believe in anything.
Well, also, Ukraine is offering such a unique political, socio-economical situation in the world right now that if we, as a first world nation who is the strongest democracy in the world, did not like try to put our hat in the ring. Yeah, quotation marks, motherfucker.
I'm throwing up air quotes. I'm going crazy on the air quotes.
Oh,
I'm going hard on the air quotes.
Yeah,
go on. We're a democracy.
The best country in the world.
Quote unquote strongest quote unquote democracy in the quote unquote world.
If we didn't in the quote unquote, hey, for all we know, this globe could be a flat plane.
Yeah, it could be God's frisbee, and God could be a dinosaur.
Oh my God, fuck. Anyway, my point being, America needs to show its backbone, at least in this situation.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, there are some things that are objectively wrong in this world. This is one of them.
Yeah, you can't just annex a country. I mean, even though we kind of engage in a lot of global imperialism. Oops. But yeah, it is bad when Russia does it, as it is bad when we do it. It's not just bad when we do it. It's not just bad when they do it.
It's just bad.
It's just bad.
It's my point.
You gotta say I don't like it. Not into it. Not into the whole global imperialism thing.
I don't. And it's weird when when the Ukrainian war started, I was like, before that, I was like, yeah, I don't like war. If we can do anything to avert war, yeah. And then the Ukrainian war started, and I was like, fuck them! let's kick some ass!
Yeah, you went full Team America?
Dude, I went full warmonger. My whole thing was like, I don't like bullies, and yeah, if Russia wants to fucking go, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's do this. Yeah, go to Poland. Go to Poland, motherfucker. See what we do.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking test me. Yeah. Fucking test me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite on your level about it, but yeah, I mean, there are justified wars. There are very few of them. Like World War II, I would say justified. I would say the Nazis should have been stopped, and I'm glad that they, quote unquote, were stopped.
Quote unquote. At least from the official source.
Big air quotes. Big, huge air quotes. Yeah. But yeah, the Nazis are still
it's
around.
Weird.
But that one and the war in Ukraine, where it's just pretty black and white. Like one country invades another. Like it's justified, but yeah, I'm not I'm
but
not
it's like
quite,
clearly the emperor has no
hoorah.
clothes,
I'm not-
and Putin is doing it only to be like, Ukraine is a part of us.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
One of us. Yeah. Yeah, I still don't like it. I don't like that war is like when you really get down to it, the only means to which you can like combat another nation. Like I just don't like that fundamental part of existing as a country. Like sometimes like, yeah, you have to kill a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing
Just
though,
sucks.
like it does. And war is like, okay, listen, if I could like pay all the money I have to end the war in Ukraine, yeah, I fucking would.
If I had one wish I could wish this holiday season, it would be for the war in Ukraine to stop. And if I had two wishes I could wish this holiday season, it would be
to get a year-long
$30 million every month to me, tax-free in a Swiss bank account. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite SNL Christmas. Steve Martin. That's one of my favorite SNL Christmas sketches. I was watching SNL Christmas with my mom last night, and yeah, and our roommate who has like never seen SNL.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I love SNL. If I could have like a DVD of the version of the SNL Christmas special they aired when I was a kid, like that would be amazing.
Right.
Like if I could is
this a way for you to give me a wink, wink, nudge, nudge? Is that what
no? Because this is like such a hyper specific thing. But like if I like could find like the version that they aired like circa 2013, 2014, like that would
VHS recording.
Yeah, VHS recording from 2013 or 2014. Yeah, Gavin. Yeah, VHS. Because that was
no. You said from when you were born, motherfucker.
No, from when I was a kid.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah, I was kid. I was like 12 then.
Yeah.
I was like 11, 12 in 2013, 2014.
Yeah, but you're asking for the SNL one, the SNL episode from when you were born.
No, I said if I could have like a DVD of like the version of SNL Christmas that they aired when I was a kid. Because like they change it up every year. They add new stuff from like the more recent sketches.
I came to you with some aggressive energy there.
Yeah.
And I would like to pedal that back.
No, I'm going to correct you on what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's great. Anyway, war, bad.
Yeah.
Don't really like it. Unless it's for a really damn good reason or if someone's actively attacking you.
Yeah. It just sucks that most of the time it's just for oil or just to like
not this
steal
time.
land. Yeah, not this time.
Not entirely this time.
I mean, yeah, from Russia's point of view, they're just trying to annex more land, steal more land and resources. But yeah, like, you know, us fighting the war, it's okay. I'm not going to say it's about like saving lives, but like it does have the effect of like saving people from Russian imperialism. But like the US would not be fighting it if it weren't for like corrupt reasons.
I kind of disagree with that. I think it's a matter of principle for us.
I mean, it's like for our own geopolitical advantage, and also like any, you know, military action will benefit the military industrial complex.
It also has to do with the Western bloc of European countries. Because if let's say Ukraine falls to Russia, it makes the entirety of Europe more susceptible to Russian influence, which is objectively not good.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's not just the US too. It's most of Europe too, like helping Ukraine financially with weapons, with food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What I mean is like yeah, the US only gets involved in military conflict when it like serves its interests, and it just so happens that this time their interests align with like
our interests,
the interests of like the Ukrainian people.
And I will say too, it's kind of bullshit that like when this war started, they're like, yeah, and these aren't the like black people in Africa.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Yeah, we have talked about that, like just how mask off they were. Like, hey, this stuff isn't supposed to happen to this kind of people. These fair-skinned white.
They're not supposed to get shot unless it's an American public school.
Yeah, like they are like they're like pronouncing the H in white. Like these are white people.
Yeah. Listen, they have some weird vowels, but there's melanin passes the test.
Didn't one of the field reporters like actually say that? Like this isn't supposed to happen to white people. Like he said like white people.
Did he actually say white
I remember hearing
people?
one where the guy said like, yeah, it's not supposed to happen to people like this. You know, this is like a civilized place, and you know these people are white, and like he like snuck in like these people are white. Yeah.
They also think the South should rise again.
Ukraine will rise again.
Dude, I was okay.
Wait. Hold on. So isn't Russia like using some like I remember hearing that they're trying to justify the invasion by saying that Ukraine was part of Russia at some point in the past, like under like a different government.
Oh, for most of like civilized history, they were part of Russia.
Yeah. So what was like the government called back then? Like what was
the USSR? Was
it under the USSR or was it? Because I thought it was like an older thing, like even before the USSR.
No. It was in the USSR, and then it's kind of embarrassing for Russia because and like I'm not just saying that for like haha, you should be embarrassed.
Yeah. L plus ratio plus skill issue.
Right. It's like they were embarrassed actively because it's one thing to have your government and pacts with other countries collapse. It's another thing for all the countries that were in your sphere of influence to actively leave you.
Yeah.
And go to a different organization like instantly.
That is pretty funny.
Not even like a decade passed and they kind of try to figure it out and they joined the EU. No, it was like, hey, so this Soviet Union fell.
Oops.
Can we be a part of NATO?
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was all to say. It was going to be whatever the government entity was under which Ukraine was part of Russia. That was all to inform this joke. The USSR will rise again. Because I'm kind of tailoring it to them.
Wow.
But it did take a lot of setup.
I don't use the term master comedian often, Alex, but in this case, wow.
Yeah, thank you.
I am truly at goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
wow.
Yeah. No, I can tell. I can tell you're turned on right now. Anyway, we watched a movie this week.
Before we get to that,
we should close out. We should close out. Anyway, France, good on ya. Good on ya. And I think more countries should...
About that, yeah, France, that thing we're talking about before getting completely hijacked.
Yeah, no, France, good for you. I wish that our country did progress.
More anal sex.
That too. No, I just wish that we could do progress here. Like it's so upsetting seeing other countries that are like, yeah, we just gave out condoms to everyone because that just is what you do when STDs are on the rise. Meanwhile, here it's like, oh, the STD rates are up, teen pregnancy rates are up. Have we tried
kill all the homosexuals?
Yeah, have we tried killing gay people and teaching kids that if you think about sex, you'll die?
It's because the dinosaurs weren't real and the atheist scientists
are
doing
atheists.
Blood transfusions with the virgins.
Yeah. Well, like other places, like you hear about, hey, we're having a public health crisis.
The brakes.
So we just gave people the medicine they need. And like we've only done that with the COVID vaccine, but now we're even taking that back. Like, we have not had progress in this country in such a long time. And that just is upsetting.
It is a little upsetting.
We just can't have nice things.
I really think it has to do with dark money. I agree with you on that.
I think it's just all money. Like, if Big Pharma gives to a candidate, like funds their campaign, they're not going to vote for anything that would lead to less profits for Big Pharma because they're just not going to get more money from them. Like it's simple corruption, and that's what runs our political system.
In my opinion, it's okay for Big Pharma to fund a political campaign. It's not okay for them to fund a political campaign and not have that be public knowledge.
Yeah, I don't agree that they should be allowed to fund the campaign at all, because that just is a bribe. That's just a bribe under a different name.
But isn't it a bribe under a different name if you support a political candidate?
I don't think political candidates should have
By
to
definition.
worry about fundraising, like privately. I think like ideally it would be some form of like publicly funded, system. That way everyone is like on the same level financially and you aren't given an advantage just because you're able to shill more or you have more money.
Maybe. I don't know enough about campaign finance laws to say anything on that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to like write policy on it, but like I've seen convincing arguments about, publicly funded, what's called clean elections. My understanding is other places do it. I don't know what places do it, but like it's not something that couldn't be conceivably done.
Your mom's pussy does it. My dick found out.
I'm sorry. What was that? You cut out. You cut out for a second. Can you repeat that?
Audience, you heard me.
Go kill yourself.
He can do whatever soundboard bullshit he wants to. We know what I said.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier, Gavin.
We know, audience. We know what I said.
Dude, your mom is gonna be so upset that you insulted me when I fuck her later and I tell her what you said. Anyway. Sure. But anyway, yeah, I don't think, clean elections are a thing that couldn't be done. Like, it can be figured out. Like, there's potential for corruption, I guess, which is like, I say that because you brought it up the last time we talked about it. But like, I don't see it as being more susceptible to corruption than any other thing. I think it's less susceptible to corruption than what we have right now, just on like a systemic level, like just by the principle of it. Like, take out like other factors, like, like human nature or whatever. Just like the system of publicly funded elections is just less corrupt by principle than privately funded elections, because like that's just codified corruption. If a private entity can fund a political candidate, and then like, what's the political candidate going to do? Just bite the hand that feeds them? No.
Or fuck your mom.
No, they wouldn't do that because my mom is a nice lady, but your mom, on the other hand, I don't know. We don't know.
So here's the deal, Alex. I know I'm right because I have a big old beard. And that means I have more testosterone in my body. And Andrew Tate has told me.
But my balls are larger.
How do you know that?
Can't believe you haven't noticed the toilet cam. Anyway.
We watched a movie, but before that, I watched a different movie called The Polar Express.
Oh, yeah. Give us your review of it.
Oh, I love it because it would be so much funnier if the main character was just like not a white supremacist, but like a nuanced,
not a white supremacist. That's a great way to begin this premise that you're laying out.
Right. Yeah, not a full-on hardcore white supremacist, but definitely like a lost cause advocate.
Can I say, I think we should start doing that more. Like, just even if it's unrelated, be like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this guy was like, not a white supremacist, but like if he had brown hair, just completely unrelated to the main thing. Just be like, not a white supremacist, because he wouldn't be a white supremacist in the premise. Like,
right.
No one brought that up.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was blonde instead? Like, not to be racist or anything.
Luke Skywalker, so he's like not a white supremacist, but he's like a Jedi. He's not a white supremacist. I don't know.
Look at the statistics, Alex. Look at the statistics. How many white Jedi versus black Jedi? And don't bring up Mace Windu. He's an exception,
Jedi.
but not the rule.
You make a point. Yeah. That might have more to do with casting in Hollywood.
Probably. I thought you meant like socioeconomic casts.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a different.
The Star Wars universe,
there.
Famously a caste system,
right? But like,
kind of a little bit.
Like, I hate to say it, but yeah, I think it would just be supremely more funny if the main character was a like the South will rise again, and he goes to meet.
If he was our
Santa
version
Claus.
of Jasper from Twilight,
right? But he keeps on, exactly. But he keeps on throwing in like different quips, like just like different saying, like just like they're singing, and he's just like, "Man, this reminds me of the army songs the Confederates would sing on the front lines as those northern dogs mowed them down in cold blood." Hi, Haley.
I'm getting my picture taken. Hold on. Get one with Gavin in it.
Hi.
Awesome. We'll see how the film develops.
Man, my penis is erect. Anyway,
dude, I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
It's like on screen. I'm actually lying down flat.
We're on Chatterbait right now.
Right.
Normally we use Discord, but I thought we'd change things up this week.
I'm lying down with the camera looking directly at my butthole, so he's seeing everything.
Yeah, I have an upskirt camera myself.
Right, and he's wearing like a skirt too.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing like a tutu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's like all shaved down there.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a screenshot of the webcams for this week's thumbnail if I remember to do it. If that's not the thumbnail, it just means I didn't remember to do it. But trust me, this is a real thing that we're talking about.
I like your William Irish poster behind you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, it is not mine. It is Haley's sister's. Because I am
William Irish.
I set up in her room to record.
If I start a music career, I'm calling myself William Irish.
You do that.
And then if I meet Billie Eilish, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I was making fun of your name, not in a mean way, just in a way. I was making fun of it. I just thought it was a funny sounding name. Anyway, I just think Polar Express would be supremely more. God, I shouldn't use supremely.
I'm embarrassed
would
right
be
now
more
because
funny.
I had the laugh track sound pad going, but Discord wasn't picking it up. So the insult was not conveyed. The audience heard it, but you didn't. We were in on the joke, but you weren't.
Wait, does it look like I heard it and was like, "That's not funny"?
You're just because it was like it started playing and then you started talking, so it just sounded like you were just talking over it. Like, I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay, I'm just sticks and stones may break my bones.
I'm just gonna talk over it. Anyway. Polar Express would be funnier if the main character was a Southern sympathizer.
Sure, man.
And he gets to Santa Claus, and Santa's just like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And he's just like,
"For the South to rise
again."
Oh, that's horrible.
It's awful. It's so bad.
It's horrible.
I love taking adorable, innocent, cute things and making them just the worst.
Yeah. That reminds me of one of my recommendations, actually. I will explain in detail later, but I will tell you the title of the YouTube video. Can You Seduce The Grinch by Jack's Films. If you know, you know. And if you don't, I will explain later. But anyway, we watched a movie this week.
We watched a movie.
Yeah, we watched this week.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time. Quite not the same time.
In the same in the same time block, if you're counting like a month.
For sure, yeah. Definitely same year. Similar year.
Similar
year for sure. Yeah, we watched Violent Night, and Gavin, how did you like it? How was it for you?
It was definitely not a movie that it was
definitely not. No.
Fuck you, dude. Okay. Anyway, it's definitely a movie that if you critically examined it, you'd be like, "This doesn't make fucking sense."
Yeah.
This dude's
for sure.
a liar.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, because it includes Christmas magic. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's like the Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford quote. He was like, "Hey, kid, it's not that kind of movie.
No, that kind of movie.
It ain't that kind of movie.
It ain't that kind of movie."
Yeah.
Anyway, I like how the movie used like Christmas magic as the Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
But in a way that's predictable, that we were like, "Oh yeah, Christmas magic." Okay.
Yeah, well, like Christmas magic, but like in the context of like doing a Die Hard.
Oh right, for sure.
I love that. I love mixing holiday cheer and like Santa magic with like taking out like armed guards.
I mean, behind every Christmas miracle is a fuck 'em.
Yeah. Behind every Christmas present that you receive is tons of real world violence
and vitriol.
There were wars fought over the plastic in your toys.
Right. People died.
Yeah.
People died for you to throw away that shit.
Yeah.
Think about that. A percentage of people died for you to put some plastic in a landfill.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta say, not into it. Not into that. No, I'm not.
I don't like that either.
No, I don't.
Anyway, I like that one scene where the blonde guard is fighting the kid, and the kid put up a bunch of Home Alone esque traps, and then Santa shows up and he gets her on the ground and he's like, "Hi, sweetie, okay, close your eyes, shut your ears, and sing Jingle Bells really loudly."
Yeah.
And then he just wrecks the guard's shit.
Dude, caves in the guy's head.
Dude, it was a gal, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was the one... Yeah, the one that looked like they were from a snowboarding movie.
Shit.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I love how violent it is. Like, it just does not, like, hold anything back. Overtly violent. Like... The one that like stuck out to me the most and the one that like comes to mind first is when they're going up to the attic and the guy like notices like the broken stair or something. He's like, "Hey, dude, I see this. I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to Home Alone me. You're trying to get me with the trap." Yeah. And like he sees like the thing and he's like, "Not gonna get me." Then like the step that he like steps on breaks and like his head like falls on a nail that's sticking up and it goes through like the bottom of his jaw like into his mouth. Dude, like I was kind of I was like, ugh.
There were so many parts in this movie where
and then he like is holding the nail up. He's like looking at it and I'm like, "Oh, come on." From the framing of this, I know what's gonna happen. And I should look away because I don't want to see it, but I'm not going to look away. But yeah, he gets a bowling ball like to the face and it like lodges the nail in his fucking head. Like,
I'm just happy the child doesn't know that she killed someone.
Yeah. Yeah, that would weigh on you.
That would be like shit. I mean, at some point when she gets older, she's like, "Yeah, someone probably died."
Yeah, my actions led to a death for sure.
But at least that's like a calculation on her part that's like relegated to probability.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like I probably killed someone, not like I drove a nail into a man's head.
They're not like confirmed kills, but more like that was probably me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how Santa has like Vietnam flashbacks from back when he was a Viking.
Yeah, that was cool. I like adaptations that kind of like humanize Santa and like, you know, not necessarily show but imply that like he is a person that existed outside of, you know, becoming Santa.
Right. And then since I've watched this movie, I've been calling him Sunterklaus.
Yeah. Have you seen
Sunterklaus?
Have you seen the Christmas Chronicles?
No.
Yeah, so they were two Netflix original Christmas movies. It was the movie you might have seen like pictures or you've heard of Kurt Russell playing Santa, but Kurt Russell is Santa in that movie and he plays kind of a sexy Santa, kind of a foxy grandpa kind of Santa. And David Harbour's Santa like really reminds me of Kurt Russell Santa, but with like the violence of Santa's sleigh Santa.
We need to watch Bad Santa. It has so many horny sex scenes.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, if you haven't seen Santa's Sleigh...
That was off topic, but like, I just wanted to mention.
It's a bit more of like an obscure Christmas movie from like 2005, but the DVD is pretty cheap. I think it's on Peacock, last I checked. But yeah, it's...
Peacock.
I think I've told you about it, but it's the one where Santa is like in this version of the story, he's like the spawn of Satan. Like he's like the anti-Jesus, like he is literally the Antichrist, and he's like,
well, he's got a weird way of showing it.
And the thing is, he becomes Santa because he lost a game of curling with like an archangel, and then like the terms of the game, like, hey, if you lose, you have to spend like 1,000 years delivering presents and being holly jolly or whatever. And then like the year that the movie takes place is like the 1,000th year, so he like is evil again. And like a kid has to like stop him, and he goes on a massacre in a small town. It's a great movie.
I love that. If only it was in the Donbass region of Ukraine.
Yeah, dude, that Santa, dude, he would wreck the Russian army for sure.
Oh, dude, I bet.
But realistically, he would be in the Russian army.
Can I tell you why it makes logical sense for him to be in the North Pole?
Why?
So it means that you can hit every single point on the Earth by just going in one straight line for 24 hours.
Sure. I mean, couldn't you do that anywhere?
Not anywhere, because you need to hit every single point that has people and kids, right?
Okay.
So you have to go like in. It's inefficient. I will give you that. It's not like the most efficient route to take, but if you just keep on going in a loop,
if you fired off missiles or something, or if you just
but no, if you're Santa and you need to reach every single house within 24 hours.
I thought we were still talking about like in the context of him being in the Ukraine war.
No.
Okay, that's kind of weird, launching missiles from the North Pole. Okay, I'll go along with that.
But if you just go in a circle, polar orbit circle.
Oh yeah, like follow like latitude lines.
Right, just follow the latitude line and just keep going for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Let the Earth do its spinny spin, and then you're good. Not efficient. You would have to be going at like probably Mach 50.
Right.
Not to lie. And if you're in a sleigh, that means your face is gonna melt off.
Actually, that makes me that reminds me of a piece of homework that Haley's sister was given by her science teacher.
Figure out how fast Santa would have to be going to hit every single spot on Earth.
Look, I will begin this by saying I don't know who hurt this man, but the extra credit homework that he gave his students over winter break is to write out like scientifically why Santa like could not be real, and then you get an extra point if you like tell it to a child and record it, and you get an extra point on top of that if you tell it to a child and record it and the kid cries.
What grade is this?
This is like high school.
That's fucking
like high school
hilarious.
Science. But yeah, you're supposed to find a kid, tell them why Santa scientifically could not be real. That's great. I would just
spray them with fucking like lemon juice.
Yeah.
Get them to tear up.
Look, the part of me that like is going to be a parent someday and wants to maintain the Christmas magic or whatever is like, hey, just let the kids, let the kids enjoy Christmas. But the part of me that exists right now says that is hilarious. And I think more teachers should do that. Like it's not necessarily funny to do it because you don't want to ruin a kid's day, but it's just funny to assign that. It's just funny to have that in the curriculum.
I take the point of view that if Santa were real, the CIA would have him killed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like obvious, like socialist sympathies.
Just like,
dude,
hey,
he'd be
you're a
out
clear
day
threat to
one.
national. What happens when a Russian child asks you to nuke fucking Washington D.C.?
Yeah, no, I think any kid that would ask that would be just getting coal for Christmas.
Like, hey, that's not what I'm all about.
I don't think there are any kids on the nice list that would be asking for acts of war, and they'd be asking for Santa to carry out imperialist missions.
Fine, I just want a Washington D.C. sized easy bake oven that bakes things in gamma rays, motherfucker.
Can I have enriched uranium under the Christmas tree this year?
Hi, I would like yellow cake uranium, please.
Yeah. One nuclear bomb, please.
I would like some strontium, please.
No, dude, like, yeah, if Santa existed, like, he'd either have to be granted an extreme amount of diplomatic immunity, or he would be getting surface-to-air missiles hurled at him. And he would be a national security concern because he's not going through customs. We don't know what he's got in that sleigh.
I like to think Santa has his own embassy run by his slaves. I'm sorry, elves.
Yeah, the elves, the jolly little creatures. Yeah. Okay, look into Willy Wonka's employment record. That guy has a ton of skeletons in his closet, and he says, "Ooh, they're just jolly little Oompa Loompas." You're telling me Santa's any different? Yeah.
Shit.
Dude, actually, look up listener. Look up.
I've seen it. I know what you're talking
original illustrations of Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like the original book that it's based on. They are just racist caricatures. They're like African pygmies or something. It's incredibly offensive. But anyway, Violent Night. Yeah, I think it's a good movie. Haley brought this up, but like the family isn't really that likable, and we're supposed to be rooting for them to not get killed. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. Everyone except for like the main family, and not even the family.
Except for the children.
Right. Well, just the one kid.
Children.
The other kid, the kid that's like trying to be an influencer or whatever. Fuck that one. I hate that one.
No. He can live.
He can live, but he needs to change his ways. You
need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
He needs therapy.
He needs better parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the main, like the main mom and dad and kid, but mostly just the kid. Yeah. Yeah. The dad, I feel like he's up to some shady stuff. The mom, we don't really see enough of her to really care, but the kid is good. But yeah, I don't think we're supposed to like the family, but I kind of like how unlikable they are. Like, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just funny. The guy, the one guy is like, hey, I got you for Christmas. I got you the pitch deck for my movie that I want to make. That is just a self-insert fan fiction where I kill a lot of bad guys. And did you catch the part where he was like, yeah, if I was on that plane on September 11th, there would
have been 2 towers and a lot of dead terrorists.
Yeah. It's a clear callback to that time that Mark Wahlberg explicitly said that exact thing. If he was on that plane on 9/11, things would have gone a bit differently. Let me find the quote. I know, if you're a longtime listener, I know I've brought this up on the show before, but for anyone new, you gotta hear what Mark Wahlberg has to say about 9/11. Hold on. All right, so I Google Mark Wahlberg 9/11. First thing that comes up, an article from Intelligencer. Mark Wahlberg is pretty sure he could have stopped 9/11. Updated. It was updated. I don't know what the update would be. Yeah, here it is. Here's the quote. On being scheduled to be on one of the planes that crashed into the World Trade Center. Quote, if I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in that first class cabin, and then me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry. That is a real thing that Mark Wahlberg said.
I mean, if he was talking about the entirety of 9/11, I'd be like, that would involve you having to be on 2 planes at the same time.
Yeah. First, I would have taken out the terrorists on the first plane, and then I would have known that there was another hijacked plane.
Fine. And then flown over to that plane.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, I would have jumped out of the first plane into the second plane.
Yeah. I would have crashed the first plane into the second plane. Then it would probably still hit a major building in the city because there is no safe way for this to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just love the audacity to say I would have stopped 9/11.
It's like when Justin Bieber said that he thought Anne Frank would be a believer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's on the same level.
Look, are
you fucking shitting me here, man? Goddamn.
Look, my opinion on this is similar, kind of similar to my opinion on like the whole like, Santa isn't real homework. Like, just say fuck it and lean into it. Like, it's bad. It's really bad when you say something like that once and then you like apologize and move on. But that's still like a thing you did that can always be brought up. Like with Mark Wahlberg, also the time he assaulted a man because he was Asian. But that's a different story. I say just lean into it. Just say like, yeah, Anne Frank would have been a fan of mine. I would have stopped 9/11. I could have cured COVID when it first hit, but they wouldn't let me into the lab. I could have
cured AIDS.
Yeah, I have the cure for cancer in my back pocket, but you can't have it.
But say it at the Oscars in one sentence after punching what's his face?
After punching Chris Rock.
Rock.
Just like, just start saying that you could money. Like fist fight like major world leaders. Like, yeah, I could take on Vladimir Putin.
This totally sounds like something that Kanye West would do. This totally go to the Oscars, punch the comedian host.
Yeah.
And then say that you would have stopped 9/11 and the Holocaust, but probably if it's Kanye West, probably not the Holocaust.
I'm gonna let you finish, but first, if I was on that plane on September 11th, it would have gone down a lot differently. And if I was in Nazi Germany in the 1930s and 40s, we would have won that war.
We did!
No. It's Kanye West saying it. Think about it.
Oh, shit! That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's horrible, but you can't say it wouldn't be funny if you did that.
Oh, it'd be so fucking funny. It would only be funny if he wasn't doing well in political polls.
Oh, yeah.
And it was only like the final cannonball to sink his ship.
It would be funny in like a watching the world burn kind of way.
Right. I would be looking at it and like, he did that too. He's adding fuel to the fire.
Right.
Shit.
Remember when we thought he was going to ruin his reputation? Remember when we thought that being a Nazi would negatively affect him? Remember when we thought that people wouldn't like that he's a Nazi? Remember that? Remember when we thought he wouldn't gain massive amounts of support for praising Hitler online?
I remember when we made logical conclusions about this.
Yes. Yeah. Remember when we thought the world made sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Violent Night. I would say probably best movie ever.
You see, this is why I don't think the podcast is doing well, Alex, because we talk about a whole lot of nothing in between introducing the fact that we've watched a movie and the fact that we thought the movie exists.
Yeah, no, I would say definitely. I gotta disagree with what you said earlier. It really is a movie, for sure.
Yeah, it is, but we're supposed to review it, Alex. This is what we did. We said we watched a movie. Do you remember when Alex Wahlberg said he would have stopped 9/11?
It was Mark Wahlberg.
What did I say?
You said Alex Wahlberg.
Okay, fuck it. Well, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, whatever.
Fuck it.
Whatever.
Motherfucker said he was gonna stop. He could stop 9/11. I think I can say fuck it and call him Alex Wahlberg.
Look, if David Harbour's Santa was on that plane on September 11th.
Listen, if Thanos was on that plane on 9/11.
Look, David Harbour Santa may actually have been able to stop 9/11, and I question why he didn't in the universe of the movie. Maybe Violent Night takes place in a world where 9/11 never happened. Maybe. And maybe that's why all of the screening on the help at the mansion is so lax. Maybe this is still a pre 9/11 world, and that's why every single staff member and even like the rescue team were like all like
it's
corrupt.
Not the rich people doing the cross checking, right?
Yeah, but like you'd think they'd do some kind of screening you would think. How easy is it to like get people on the inside for something like this? See, now we're talking about the movie. See how it works? We talk about nothing, and then it leads into talking about the movie. But how? Like I know, like a lot of the staff members weren't in on it. They weren't in on it, but like
examples.
There were enough there.
I have two examples.
Yeah,
I have two examples.
Yeah.
So, Washington D.C. A man just fucking climbs the fence, runs onto the lawn, runs into the fucking White House. That's unlocked for some reason.
Is this a recent thing, like from like recent years? Because I think I know what you're talking about.
10, 15 years ago, a guy did this.
Okay.
And he got into the White House, ran around a little bit before being caught, and they didn't shoot him because, funny enough, they trained the Secret Service. So they captured him and threw him in jail for like trespassing, I guess.
Yeah.
Another instance of this happening was in England. A dude broke into to the Queen's mansion place. What is it? Fucking
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Fucking ham.
Fucking ham.
Yo.
Palace.
Okay, I'll fuck a pie, but ham is where I draw the line.
Fucking ham palace, and that's why we did the American Revolution.
Yeah, because we were like this goofy ass building name.
That's the reason.
Yeah,
motherfucker broke in, got into the Queen's like fucking quarters, got into her like fucking bedroom, and was like, "Hey, do you got any alcohol?" And she was like, "Yeah, I do. Would you like some?" And he was just like, yeah, for sure." She's like, "Okay, follow me." And she served him some fucking whiskey, and he had a little good 10 minutes before security showed up.
That's so funny.
And fucking tased his ass.
Yeah, because that's what happens.
Because of course.
Because sometimes the world makes sense. Sometimes.
Because if someone's going to break into Buckingham Palace, usually it's for a political reason. And if it's for a political reason, usually they bring some planes and helicopters.
Okay, I'll be down soon. They're opening presents. Whoa.
Okay, should we close out the episode?
No, not yet. Not yet. We gotta get through the rest of it. But anyway, yeah. I still say the fact that like the people like, you know, doing the operation managed to infiltrate the staff, like maybe it's not unrealistic, but like just a part of me is like, do you not do background checks? Do you not, you know, scan for this kind of stuff? Also, like one of this is kind of like unrelated, but like one of the funniest tropes in movies like this is like the like adult that doesn't believe in Santa because they didn't get the bike they wanted. And I love that like the leader of this operation, like the reason that they lead a life of crime just boils down to that. Like I think
this boils down to that Santa should have done something.
Yeah, I think that's a really funny plot point where he's like, you know, I wanted a red bike for Christmas and I got a green bike instead. And ever since then I knew this world wasn't fair. And then, like, it's funny, like, they subvert the trope by having Santa be like, no, fuck you. You chose to kill people. I didn't have anything to do with that.
I didn't tell you to
I'm sorry, should I have coddled you? Should I have given you a little baby bottle and said, everything's going to be okay. Please don't lead a life of crime. Like, no, fuck you. You made your choices.
I give every child in the fucking world a gift on Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't got time to be your therapist.
Yeah, but like that's like a big plot point in so many Christmas movies. Like, you know, like Santa is real in the movie, but like adults are like, no, you can't believe in Christmas, kid, because I asked for a doll and I didn't get the doll, so that's why I don't believe in Santa anymore.
Actually, I got the doll, but it wasn't the exact doll I wanted. Yeah. I wanted the doll with the purse, and they got me the doll without the purse, and that screwed with me a little bit, and that's why Santa isn't real.
Yeah, no, that's one of like the dumbest tropes in Christmas movies, because like another thing that like is completely unoriginal. Like everyone brings this up, but like the presents, Santa leaves presents. What do the parents think is happening there?
Yeah,
right. Like, hey, I only bought my kid a Nintendo Switch. Why is there also an Xbox under the tree? You know,
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the hell?
But no, I didn't get the exact doll I wanted, so Santa must not be real.
Right.
Yeah, okay, Bob.
Right. Especially when it's like in the wake of like, I don't know, an economic depression.
Yeah.
Where you got something which is better than nothing, and that something is like supremely better than the people who got something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a goofy trope. And I love that David Harbour Santa is like, no, fuck you and fuck the bike you wanted. Fuck whatever doll you wanted. This is my
last year. I'm fucking done. You guys are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they should have, okay, say what you will about Louis C.K. because he has some shit on his record. I get it.
Say what you will about Louis C.K., but yes.
I feel like he would have been a perfect fit for this role.
He would not be a bad Santa. He would
he's like, fucking, you want I can't make an iPhone, you motherfucker.
That is something you would say.
Like,
you got the wording down exactly too.
I can't, like, I'm moving at Mach 2 and you think I'm worried about your goddamn iPhone?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, goddamn. I think he would have been great, but I don't think he would have been able to pull off the like action as well.
Yeah, David Harbour was really a good choice for this movie because he does do like the old grizzled Santa really well.
Oh, for sure.
Like I think like, it kind of goes hard. I like that he plays a more like grizzled veteran Santa. You know, one that's just fucking tired of everything.
done. It's not like he gets any social security check from this shit.
Yeah.
You know? Goddamn.
Yeah, it's just like, just a fucking thing he does. You know? I like that they don't feel the need to explain how the shit works. Like, I feel like Christmas Chronicles does it a little bit, where like they show the elves and they're these little gremlin creatures, and like I don't like when, like, you know, Christmas stories like with Santa like have to explain like, yeah, the sleigh works with this turbo engine. Like, this is just, no, fuck it. It's just Santa. It's just fucking Santa from the Coca-Cola bottle.
What do you want from me?
It's Christmas magic. I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
Fuck.
It implies also that Mrs. Claus is dead.
I didn't get the I got the impression at first that she was dead, but I think then later he's like someone's like, oh, Mrs. Claus is going to be happy to see you, or Mrs. Claus is going to be happy to see me. It's like, I don't think she's dead, but I think they have a strained relationship. But yeah,
I think it would be funny if they're like, Mrs. Claus is going to be happy to see you, and he goes, fuck you.
Yeah. No, I don't think she's dead in this story, but I could be wrong. But either way, I think there's just something morbidly funny about the idea of like a grizzled veteran widow Santa. Either that or like divorced Santa.
I've been doing this for 1,100 years.
My wife does not love me anymore. She refuses to look at me.
We haven't had sex in 500 years.
Mrs. Claus hates the man I have become.
I just fly to the Netherlands if I need to have sex.
I started fucking the elves. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing that he did.
They grew up to be about 5 foot, which...
Yeah. They're all like 800 years old, but it's still weird because they look, I'm just going to say, very young. Ugh. Ick. Very ick. But yeah, I like David Harbour Santa.
Gross.
I'd say he's definitely like top 3 Santa for me. Definitely a Santa.
Definitely.
Yeah, like he's definitely up there with Kurt Russell, just in terms of like being like an interesting take on the character. Because there's not really much you can do with like the classic like ho 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 Coca-Cola bottle Santa.
Hell, I'd fuck him.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely get topped by David Harbour Santa or Kurt Russell Santa, whichever one.
Dude, I would totally do that just so I could have the blackmail material to get $80 million from him.
I mean, I that's not where my mind went, just for pleasure and also to be able to say I fucked Kurt Russell Santa or David Harbour Santa. And I would say, I wouldn't say I fucked Santa. I would say, yeah, I fucked David Harbour Santa.
Yeah, you would fuck him, but like in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In universe, he would just be called Santa, but I would say, yeah, I fucked David Harbour Santa. They're like, who's David Harbour?
To other people. Right, exactly.
Yeah. He's not an actor in this universe. Maybe he is an actor that just happens to look exactly like Santa. But yeah, I would say best movie ever for sure.
I would say for sure.
For sure, best movie ever, Violent Night. Yeah, if listener, if you haven't watched it so far, I guess we haven't really spoiled it because we've barely talked about it. But it's been a good Christmas special.
Alex.
Oh no, he's like chewing into the microphone. What is this?
It was ice.
Oh, it's ice. Oh, yeah. It doesn't have the same effect as it does in person.
Man,
no, you don't have to. It's okay.
Wait, I have a good piece in there. That will do the job. Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the holidays is all about.
I saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the bank of a swimming pool, which was also a river. Her genital region was exposed, dim.
Anyway, so...
that's all the water I'm getting today.
Listener, if you haven't seen Violent Night, it's still only in theaters, which we don't normally do, theater-only stuff on the show. Like, we normally do stuff that's on streaming services or, like, you can get a DVD for. But... Right. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, if you're comfortable going out to the theater, definitely watch it. Or you can just wait until it goes out on DVD or Blu-ray. Which by then, I guess it'll be out of season. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said, but it sounded a lot like that time that I fucked your mom, Gavin. But anyway, what do you want to watch next week?
I would like to watch the video I made with your mom of me fucking her.
Of a home movie, nice wholesome home movie.
Yeah, of me fucking your mom.
Of something that would not be at all sexual in nature, because my mother would never do that because she is a saint.
Yeah, man, I'd love to watch a video of me.
Anyway, so what movie would you like to watch next week?
Oh,
I dreamed
I
saw my maternal
Sorry,
grandma.
I was just anticipating you.
No, I actually have
saying that you
I actually have a movie this time.
have sex with my mother. Sorry, I just had that in the chamber. Star Trek 5.
That's actually the entire title, including what I'm saying right now. Can
someone make that into a poster? Can we get a Weekly Planet posters kind of a thing going on here?
Right. Yeah. Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier.
All right. And that is on HBO Max. It says it's on Hulu and Amazon with the premium subscription. Just watch it on HBO Max, or if you want, I guess
I already have.
You could rent it on YouTube for $3. But yeah, if you still have HBO Max for some reason, it's on there. So fucking watch it if you want. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it next week. Probably, in theory, we will talk about it next week. I should say, quote unquote, big air quotes, next week. But yeah, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier. Fucking watch it if you want.
Dude, it's kind of funny. It's a little funny when you watch people actually. Just a slight spoiler, but nothing integral. When you watch people do bad things because they got good mental health services, it's really funny.
Yeah, more on that next week. Quote unquote next week. But anyway, you want to get to recommendations of the week?
Let's get to recommendations of the week, Alex.
Yeah. Write any down that you have that you want to talk about.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
You know what? I would. So guess I'll start with the one that I mentioned earlier, the Can You Seduce the Grinch video. This is very much in line with this being a Christmas special. It is a Christmas-themed Grinch-themed choose your own adventure kind of thing. So Jack's Films, if you don't know him, he's a YouTuber. He did at least one other project like this in the past, but the idea is it's like a choose your own adventure book where like the first video, it's just a few seconds, it sets up the premise, and then you have two options on the end card. You pick option 1 or option 2, and then like it leads to another video that plays out the next part of the story. It's basically a choose your own adventure book, but in the form of like YouTube videos, and it's fun. It's just like a little interactive game. It kind of resembles like a DVD like bonus feature thing, like how they would put games on DVDs. It's fun.
I remember that.
It's fun. You put a lot of work into it. The music is actually really great. It's sort of like a 16-bit kind of like remix of like the Grinch song. It's just really good. It kind of emulates like a Game Boy Advance era aesthetic. It's just fun. It's a fun little game. The goal is to seduce the Grinch and save Christmas, and see if you can win. You probably won't. You'll probably lose, just statistically speaking. But yeah, it's just fun. Another recommendation that I have, I think I talked about this last episode with Jake, but yeah, just like iPads or tablets in general. I hate to say it, but iPads are nice. I got one from my mom because she like bought one to play games on. Then she was like, I don't use it, so you fucking take it. So I did, and it's just nice. I like to read on it and stuff. Like I read Marvel comics, and I've talked about Marvel Unlimited here. But yeah, it's just nice. And like the only reason that I like put it in recommendations is that like normally I would be like, fucking who needs an iPad? It's dumb. Like, just enjoy things, be open to enjoying new things. Like I used to think that like wireless earbuds were dumb, but now I own multiple pairs. They're just convenient. They're just good and convenient. But I used to be one of those people that were like, what happens when you lose one of your AirPods? It's like, just don't lose it. Just don't lose your AirPod. Like, they're not dumb. You're just being a stick in the mud.
In one of two places. Right.
Yeah. It's either in your ears or in the case. Just don't leave them out. But yeah, I like to think I've evolved past that, past like just, trashing stuff just because it's new or like new to me at least. But yeah, just iPads
And
are
that
just
leads
nice.
to my recommendation of the week, the Metaverse.
The Metaverse. The Metaverse. Yeah.
Not really, though.
Yeah, no. Nah. Just play VR chat if that's what you're into. Don't go with Facebook Horizon. Sorry, Meta Horizons. It just isn't good. VR chat already exists. There's already a massive community there. Just play that instead. And it's more like, it's not open source, but it's like the content creation is like open, kind of like YouTube, how anyone can just upload. That's how it is on VR chat. Anyone can upload avatars. Anyone can make worlds there. You don't have to rely on what like, you know, Meta is, you know, funneling into R&D. You don't have to wait for them to make stuff. VR chat just has a community that makes stuff and, you know, for other people to enjoy. So yeah, the Metaverse. Yeah, we recommend the Metaverse. If by Metaverse you mean VR chat.
Right. Hey, Alex, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is one of my eyebrows thicker than the other eyebrow?
Now that you say it, it is. I am noticing that.
Like this one is thicker than this one, right?
Yeah, it could be the lighting, like it could be the shadows, but from where I'm looking, it does appear it's less obvious now, but like they are like slightly different, like thicknesses and even shapes.
Wow, I'm a freak.
You're kind of a freak. You're kind of like a medical anomaly.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any other recommendations? I have one more, but I'll let you go first.
You hit it. I don't really have anything.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I talked about this in the last episode, the Gamer News episode, but if you didn't listen to that, I do have an update on my previous recommendation for Marvel print subscriptions, like mail order subscriptions. I received my first issue in the mail, and it just worked out. I got it a couple weeks after like the release date, so it took a couple weeks to get there from when it was shipped. If you're willing to wait that amount of time for the new issues, it's a way more cost-effective way to buy comics if you want to buy them physically. But you will need to buy bags and boards if you care about like storing them like in a safe, like secure way. You know, you don't want to just raw dog the comic books like in whatever bin you put them in, because they
just like how I did.
They
with
just kind of come in like
yeah.
a thin plastic packaging that isn't really meant to be resealed, and
just like
and
the
there,
condoms
and then
I
there's
used
like
on
a
Alex's
cardstock like shipping label basically that isn't really a good like board either. So yeah, you'll need to buy bags and boards, which are pretty cheap. You can get like 100 bags and 100 boards for like $20 to $30 on Amazon.
If you haven't been able to tell,
so you're still, you know, coming out on top financially if you buy them separately. But yeah, I would say, yeah, if you're going to do that and you care about storing them, like, you know, maintaining, you know, like the physical quality of them, yeah, definitely get bags and boards. You store them carefully. But yeah, just I like buying comics physically. It's definitely way cheaper. You're wasting way less money.
No jokes.
With
all
Marvel
jokes aside,
Unlimited.
it saves a lot of trees.
Yeah, but there's like a quote that is way like a lot of people really like to attribute it to Stan Lee, and I wish he said it, but it's not a real Stan Lee quote. But people like to quote Stan Lee as saying, "Comic books are like boobs; they look great on a screen, but I prefer to hold them in my hands." Yeah, it's true. It's just not a Stan Lee quote, even though people love to post it as a Stan Lee quote. But yeah, I mean, there's some truth to it. Like, it's just cooler to own a physical copy of something. You actually own it instead of basically renting it from an app. But
Right.
it just depends on what you prioritize. Like, if I'm reading a bunch of back issues, like, obviously I'm just going to read them on the app. Like, I'm not going to spend the colossal amount of money that it would cost to buy all the back issues. But I just like, you know, keeping up with the current series. And I like the idea that even if I stop paying any money, I will still have this collection. Like, it's not even just about
It's the
like
same-
reselling it. It's just about being able to look back on it, read old issues.
That's why I don't buy a Spotify subscription.
Yeah.
Just because I like to either own my music or have my music in a form that it can be taken away if I don't want to buy it.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yeah, and like
that's really what it comes down to. Like if I like this music enough, I should own it.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so do you buy like CDs then, or do you just buy stuff like on iTunes?
That's
not really
mainly.
much better, actually, because with iTunes you're just buying like a license to download and listen to the song. They technically can revoke it at any time.
Oh,
People have actually this was an issue. I remember hearing about it around the time that like the HBO Max purge was going on, but I it may or may not be related to that. But I remember hearing that people were having like licenses revoked, like they bought like a season of a show and then they just don't have it in their library anymore, and they're not refunded or anything. They just don't have the thing anymore because that's all you're buying. You're just buying it like a basically indefinite license that could just be cut off at any time. So if you are going to buy music, it's better to just buy like CDs and then rip them to your computer and
burn them. Yeah,
it is like a bit more of like an involved process, but if you really care about like owning your media, that's the most like secure way to do it. Buy the CDs, buy like a physical thing to have it on. Or you can buy like DRM free files. But if you know about that, you're way beyond what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can rip the CDs, get the files off of them, and then actually you could use Plex to host the files. And if you have Plex Pass, you can download Plex Amp, which is like their music app, and it's just like like Apple Music or Spotify, but it streams like the files from whatever Plex server you have set up. It's just like the movies, but it's with music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've talked about it before here, but buying stuff on iTunes or like Google Play or anything like that, it's like the worst parts of buying physical media mixed with the worst parts of streaming, because it costs more money, but also you don't really own it. Yeah. But it's
that I'm learning.
Yeah. It's actually the same with Steam. Like when you buy games on Steam or any online like game storefront, you're just buying a license to download and play that game. And sometimes games will get like delisted and they'll still show up in your library. But like, I want to say, don't quote me on it, could be a different game, could be a different platform. But I believe when the Deadpool game was taken off of the PS4 store, people just didn't have it in their library anymore.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that stuff still happens. I just kind of accept that with Steam because it's like, what else can I do? It's not like you can just buy a game on a disc and play it like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like for one, I wouldn't be able to play that on my Steam Deck. And also most times when you buy a physical game now, like for PC, it just gives you a Steam code.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you open the box, and sometimes, I don't know, I haven't bought a physical game in a while, but last I knew, like my understanding is that you buy the physical game, it comes with the discs, but it also just comes with a Steam code. So like if you don't have a good internet connection, you can install the game from the discs, but like you have to, I believe you have to activate it on Steam, like put in the key.
Weird.
And then it's like linked to your account. So you might as well just buy the game from Steam.
I guess so.
Yeah, I would it would be nice if games had like PC games had a better like physical media infrastructure, but it's just not realistic with the current setup for it. But it's definitely still viable to buy like physical media for music and movies and TV, and rip the files from the disc. You could I mean, it's difficult with like Blu-rays because you need a Blu-ray drive for that, but DVD drives, they're like fucking everywhere. So you can get the free program, make MKV, get the files, get the free program, Handbrake, encode the files into an MP4 format, put them on a Plex server or just whatever computer you have, download the Plex server application. It's pretty simple. You just need like an hour of YouTube tutorials to figure it all out. And with music, same thing. But yeah, it's incredibly viable to own like the media that you watch still.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like when the new season of Rick and Morty comes out on Blu-ray, like I'm planning on buying that, especially if it goes on sale, because I did buy up to season 5 on Blu-ray for during Black Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that ever gets pulled from HBO Max, or if it's, if it's not available on anything else, I will still have that Blu-ray collection. I will still have the high quality means to stream it that I own and control.
I actually personally fell victim to the whole licensing issues like going on between streaming companies. The whole reason I got a Paramount Plus subscription was so I could watch Star Trek, which for the vast majority of Star Trek I can do. It's just for the Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
I have to go to HBO Max.
Yeah, that sucks. Like we talked about this in our HBO Max episode, but yeah, the only way streaming as an economic model works is if you have a monopoly. Like Netflix used to be the streaming service, and they had everything there. But then other companies were like, "Hey, hold on, we want a piece of this too. We don't want to split the costs, or we don't want to split revenue with you or anything like that. We want to have our own streaming service with our own thing."
We have the money to make our own streaming service.
Yeah, but now that everyone's done that, it's all fractured. There's no one place to go for everything, so that's kind of the main appeal of streaming gone. You have to have all these different, basically cable packages, and they're all realizing simultaneously, oh, this requires, for it to work, this requires a lot of like venture capital investment, or just burning through whatever like stockpile of wealth you have if you're like a Disney and Amazon, and we're just not getting the returns that we expect. Like, it is not a profitable industry, and they're all realizing simultaneously. I'm curious what comes next, because it's not like this is a sustainable. Actually, most big tech, like financially, does not work. Like social media platforms are not profitable. Oh no, they have since their inception, they have relied on continuous venture capital funding. So I'm just incredibly curious what comes next for all of this stuff. Sorry, I'm just hearing talking outside the door. I was wondering if anyone was coming in here. But yeah, I'm just curious what comes next, because it's not like it can continue forever. And the only like practical advice I can give, if you like are a fan of any particular franchise, is just buy the Blu-rays and learn how to rip them. A Blu-ray drive is like $20 on eBay, and I think it's very much worth it. Hi, Abby. Haley's sister says hi.
Aw, hi, Haley's sister.
She can't hear you, moron. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a moron on Christmas Eve.
I hope you get cool.
But yeah, if you're like a Star Trek fan, I would definitely suggest buying like a collector's set, like a Blu-ray box set of all the movies.
First, make sure you're really into it.
Yeah, no, this is assuming you are already like a diehard fan.
Yeah, because there are some Star Trek movies where it's like, oh, fuck off with that bullshit.
Yeah, at least buy like the ones that you care about. What I mean is, like, just if you're a fan of any particular media, like if you really love like, the Lord of the Rings movies, instead of like, if you're only like, let's say, buying HBO Max just for Lord of the Rings, or like any, few franchises, just buy those franchises physically. Right. Set them up on a Plex server if you care about, the convenience of streaming. But yeah, I think like owning your media is very important.
Exactly. I'm trying to make an Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Beard here.
Because like the other big part is the cost of it. Like buying outright, like a Blu-ray collection, is just financially more. It makes more sense than continuously paying for a streaming subscription.
Are you saying owning the media that I like to watch is better than paying a streaming service a couple dollars a month to
you'd think I wouldn't have to say that.
Media?
You'd think I wouldn't have to say that, but I guess some people, I think some people need to hear, like, it's convenient now in the short term to pay for a streaming subscription, but it will pay itself off very like if you plan on owning these movies and watching them until the day you die, like I guess depending on how long you live. Until the day
you die, your hair. Yeah.
Huh?
Until the day you die, your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like love Lord of the Rings and you want to watch it like every month, you want to rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies, and and you want to do that indefinitely, spending like, I don't know, I think it's like $150, maybe like between $150 and $200 for like the collector's edition with like all like 6 movies and the extended versions. Like it's kind of an expensive upfront investment, but you only have to pay for it once. You don't have to keep paying like $100 to $150 a year for HBO Max.
Yeah.
So after like a couple years, it pays itself off. If you are just looking to watch like Lord of the Rings, just as an example.
Exactly.
But it transfers to other things. Like if you're watching just for one show, like if you got Netflix subscription, so you could watch Game of Thrones is an HBO thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's say, yeah. I didn't mean to use HBO as an example again, but yeah, if you want to watch Game of Thrones, it might make more sense just to buy the Blu-ray collection or the DVD collection.
Right.
But yeah, that's all to say. Yeah, Marvel print subscriptions are decent. It's like a 40% discount on a 12-issue subscription. You're saving a lot of. It's like a little over $2 per issue instead of $4. It's just good. But yeah, if you don't care about like having a collection, if you just want to read the stuff and be done with it, Marvel Unlimited is pretty good value.
If you just want to read the stuff and then fuck Alex's mom.
I mean, but if you are a DC fan, that's a different story. They have a different app with like multiple tiers for their subscription. I think it's more expensive. I only really pay attention to Marvel comics. It's like, honestly, like I don't know why they have a monthly thing other than just to have it, because it's $10 per month or it's $60 for a year.
Yeah.
So like, or I think it's like $70, but either way, it's like way less per year than if you were to pay monthly. So that's what I did. I paid for the year, and I read the comics on my iPad. And it's a good thing, and I like it. I forgot I wanted to mention I've been rereading Ultimate Spider-Man, which like around like the year 2000 they did like a universal like reset for Marvel Comics. Not like a reset, but they started like a reboot continuity. Kind of like what they did with Star Trek, actually, except they didn't do all kinds of weird timey-wimey bullshit like, oh, it's canon, but it's not, but it actually is. But they did do Secret Wars in 2015, where they brought over Miles Morales into the main continuity when he started in Ultimate continuity. But yeah, I've been rereading Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's just good. It's a good like modern quote unquote like retelling of Peter's origin story and like, you know, the early Spider-Man adventures in like early 2000, like late 90s context.
Right.
I think the pacing is really good. Like they draw out his origin story. Like Uncle Ben doesn't die until like issue 3, I think, or like the end of issue 2. So like they really like take their time with telling the story, but it's also still well paced. Because like if you read Amazing Fantasy 15, which is the original Spider-Man origin story, Uncle Ben dies in like the 3rd panel. Like he like his origin story is like, yeah, there was a spider and whatever, he wrestled for a bit. Now he's Spider-Man. Now this is where you start caring. Uncle Ben was fucking nothing. He was nothing in the original stories. He was brought up like twice in the first decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why like Raimi Raimi movie fanboys are annoying, because they have no like context for like the history of Spider-Man. They just think Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 like are the definitive Spider-Man story. Like, no, right. Uncle Ben Spider-Man thinks about Uncle Ben every day, and he cries at his altar, and he has a shrine to Uncle Ben, and he says, Uncle Ben, I want to be happy. And Uncle Ben says, no, fuck you, be Spider-Man. Like, that's not what the story is about.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just a huge side tangent. Anyway, read Ultimate Spider-Man if you have Marvel Unlimited. If you have the means to do it, I would suggest doing it. It's just a good story, I think, and I like it. But do you have anything before we close out the show? Any last words?
Unfortunately, yeah, I like this time of the year because we can really stick it to the pagans.
Yeah, yeah, fuck them. They've had it too good for too long.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone, have a happy Christmas. I don't have anything to particularly like shine a light on. Take care of yourself. Take care of others.
Yeah,
I'm
just glad that we're going to be able to get this out by Christmas, because I was worried that we wouldn't be able to get it done before Christmas. Then it'd be kind of weird. Like, hey, it's January and we're talking about Violent Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could get that out of the way.
Same.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the show then. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Bold of You to Say. If you liked it, then like it. If you subscribe, then subscribe. And if you comment, it better be nice. Nice comments only, because we have fragile egos.
Yeah, I cry sometimes.
Yeah, follow me on social media. Don't follow Gavin anywhere. Don't do it. It's unwise.
Stop it. Don't do it.
I see you trying to do it, and it's not working.
I observe people trying to.
It's not working.
Just flocks of people.
So just don't even try. But follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram. My Tumblr has actually been taking off. I've been getting followers. I don't know why, but I have been getting followers on Tumblr, so I guess follow me there. See what I tumble.
Follow Alex.
Yeah, it's mostly just been like posting like shower thought-esque little blurbs like, hey, why does Domino's buffalo sauce taste like gasoline? Stuff like that.
Right. Actually?
Dude, that stuff is gnarly. Like, it is. Look, not to take too much time for the outro, but that stuff is potent. Like, really? You open the container.
If I put a lighter to it, it would explode.
Oh, for sure. Like, you open it, and instantly your sinuses are, like, attacked. It's not just that it's spicy, it's that it feels like venomous. Like, it feels... like, I feel like my body is being corroded.
I know what you're talking about, too. Yeah. I know exactly.
Have you had Domino's buffalo sauce?
No, we're just too white. That's how we know.
The thing is, I like buffalo sauce. I like it. I've had multiple varieties of it. I've gotten different brands at the store. I've even had McDonald's hot buffalo sauce. And that stuff. Oh,
man, you took one for the team.
That stuff is good. Like, I like it. It's good with their McNuggets. And you'd think that would be like the cheapest variety of buffalo sauce. But no, Domino's has the most corrosive, venomous buffalo sauce I have ever laid eyes on. Anyway, like and subscribe. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Yes.